So we return from battling the optional boss fight, and we'll be claiming our just rewards. Which is this weapon, and it's a very good weapon. Well, at least for now. As you can see, we'll be getting a massive attack boost from it. And it will be trivializing most battles from now on. But before that, I'll just be healing myself, because you never know when you need it. Besides, Cure isn't really that good of a skill, and I don't want it to clog up my inventory for other more valuable skills.
A high-speed send-off. Gotcha.
Of course, I test out my new weapon on Vaan, because fucking Vaan. He deserves it.
Gotcha. Keep trying.
But yeah, I'll be doing a lot of damage now.
Keep trying.
Of course, Vaan has the most obnoxious skill that Vaan has, which is Wind Burst. And speaking of skills that mannequins have, they don't have all attacks, but they can have all the attacks, just not at once. Which means that right now Vaan has Wind Burst, which is a skill I do not have access to right now. Well, it's not a skill, it's an attack, but I don't have access to it right now because I'm not at the right level. But that does mean that Vaan can have later game attacks, which can be a wrench for players.
I'm not gonna hold back.
I don't know why, but the game likes to hit us on the moon for some reason. Although in this case, that's fine, because the stage we're fighting on is actually derived from Final Fantasy IV, where part of the game took place on the actual moon. And since Kain is a Final Fantasy IV character, it's relevant. And you'll think that a raccoon would be more powerful on the moon considering their jump skill, but evidently that's not the case.
How's this? You're finished.
It's rare whenever I use an attack's secondary attack, but it does happen sometimes. I don't know why, that's just how I play Vaan whenever I'm forced to. I just have this idea in my head that I'm better if I do varying attacks all the time. But that doesn't mean I actually am. But anyways, let's pick up this Summon Stone, which is another game mechanic I don't particularly like. Mainly because in this case, I don't actually have control of when to activate it, and it only has a certain amount of uses before it has to recharge, and it's a pain to remember when you have your Summon Stone ready or not. So in this case we got Ifrit, and Ifrit will raise your bravery by a certain amount, and in this case it will trigger whenever I gain stage bravery, which is usually when I break an opponent.
Oh, you crack me up. Don't want to fight, she says. Who are you? And what did you do to the girl who was having such a blast beating the pulp out of people?
I didn't. I don't.
Huh? That's that girl.
Listen, you're a vicious beast, with vicious power meant for mayhem and destruction. Now tell me, how is a person like that going to decide she doesn't want to fight? You better straighten up, missy, or I'll have to teach you a lesson.
Please don't.
It seems like they're arguing with each other. Yeah, I think I better keep out of it.
All right. So much for Mr. Nice, Kefka. Sorry, babe. I only hurt you because you make me.
Hey, leave her alone!
Who? What? When? Where? Why? Can't you see when someone's busy? Run along and play now.
I'll say it again, just in case you didn't hear me the first time. Leave that girl alone.
Right. In that case, play dead.
So if you decided to skip the optional boss fight, this is probably the first time you will be having trouble. At least I did when I started playing, because Kefka can be a tricky character to fight against if you are not on to his tricks, like I am. And even then,
You're about to learn why
you're still gonna have some
Always have to
trouble.
take out the trash.
However, the game takes a little bit of pity on you by not setting Kefka to the highest difficulty. And I'm trying to make him show off his moves, but sometimes he will just stand around doing nothing because his AI is set to a rather low difficulty, as you can see. But he does like to counterattack, and that kick will nail me every time in the duels. I don't know what is about it, but I will always get hit by it. As you can see, a lot of his attacks are very tricky, because, well, he is a clown. But I managed to get Ifrit to trigger, which I guess is something. I've noticed that Summon Stones can only be activated once in a battle, with the exception of a few. But the one we have can only be activated once, and I get nailed again. Every time. Yeah, I'm not really doing so well. But that's okay, because I've fought harder battles than this guy. And I've just about had it with him. So this is probably the most opportune time to use an X-Burst, since Kefka is low on bravery. And I have a lot of bravery of myself. So it's very likely that I actually managed to kill him with the bravery attack, with the X-Burst, sorry. And that means I'll be getting a lot of bonus experience. Well, not as much as expected.
One more win for me.
I only got one level this time.
And here I thought you were just another prepubescent pretty boy. Incredible! That's the most fun I've had in minutes!
Hey, snap out of it. We gotta go. We'll finish this next time. For now, I'm just gonna take the girl. Catch you later.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Wait, you're what? Well, fine. You just go on and take her with you then. After all, she always comes running straight back into my arms anyway. What do I care? Go on, scram! Cheeky brat, that one. Thinks he can just waltz in and cart off anybody he pleases. Who does he think he is? Never even got a chance to say I wasn't sorry.
And with that, we've saved Terra from the evil clutches of Kefka. And because of that, let's actually talk about Terra, because I don't have anything better to talk about. One is boring as a barrel of water, and he is about as significant in this game as he was in his own game. So anyways, Terra as we see her right now is not actually how she looks like in her own game, which will become evident later on. But anyways, so Terra starts on Chaos side for some reason, which is a reference to her original game where she was actually a soldier of the evil Imperials. But she was only a soldier of the Imperials because she was wearing something called the slave crown, which robs the bearer of all free will. And, well, this is going a little bit into spoiler territory, but Terra was raised by the Empire, and presumably she has worn the slave crown all her life. As such, she doesn't actually have a childhood, and she never really had any opportunity to form her own opinions or have free will before she gets freed in her own game through a series of, well, it was more of an accident really, and the Imperial's poor planning. However, in this game she doesn't really have a slave crown, she's just kind of enslaved by Kefka in some weird way. And the main thing about her in her own game is that she kind of has to come to terms with being a human and being independent and having her own free will. And Vaughn is kind of taking the role from another character who serves as sort of her parent slash friend for a little bit. And that's really all I'm going to go into with Terra right now. But interesting of note is that Kefka said that she always came running back, which is something that never happens in the original game. Well, I mean, Terra comes back, sure, but to kill him. Because Kefka, surprise, is actually the final boss of Final Fantasy VI. And considering that Terra is a main protagonist, he is obviously going to come and try and kill her. But that's not what Kefka meant in that cutscene. And I'm pointing this out for people who have not played Final Fantasy VI, because it's an abnormality. Also, I'm kicking Kefka's ass again, and I probably should have cut it out. But I wanted to show off Terra as an assist, and she's not very good. I'm sorry, Terra, but that's just how it is in the game. Also of importance is probably that Terra was the first female protagonist in the Final Fantasy series. And the only one to actually be a female protagonist other than Terra is Lightning. Yuna should probably be considered a main protagonist in her own game, but Titus is considered to be the main protagonist for some reason. And
Oh, this should be far enough away they won't find us. Oh, hey, I'm Vaughn, and you are? Okay.
You're one of Cosmos's warriors.
Hmm? Yeah, I am.
Then please, kill me.
Huh?
I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to hurt people or destroy things anymore. So please.
Couldn't you just stop fighting and not use your powers? I mean, that's gotta be better than the alternative.
What do you mean? You're my enemy, aren't you?
People are people, aren't they? It doesn't matter what side you're on.
Oh.
Back there, it looked like you were in trouble. So I did what I thought was right and got you out. I mean, I knew you were on the other side, but what difference does that make, you know?
You don't care?
Nah, not really. It doesn't change anything, does it? What does you being in trouble have to do with Chaos or Cosmos?
Well, I mean, we're both soldiers, and we were summoned here to fight.
Okay, sure. We were summoned here to fight. But that doesn't mean I'm just gonna throw away what I believe in. I decided to help you because that's what I wanted to do. And I have no intention of hurting you. That's not me. Listen, don't think about things so hard, alright? You don't want to end up just doing whatever people tell you to, do you?
so we're back in another gate. And this is actually the last gate of Vaans Chapter. But as I was saying, something about female protagonists in Final Fantasy. Yuna was probably also a female protagonist in her own game, but for some reason Titus is considered to be that. And I don't think there's other female characters in Final Fantasy that is considered the main protagonist, except Lightning, which is, you know, like 7 games after Final Fantasy VI. Come on, Squaresoft. You should be more progressive than that.
Looking for a win.
And besides, it's also arguable that Terra wasn't really a main character in our game. Because in Final Fantasy VI, there's a lot more focus on a wider cast. But that's for another day. Anyways, we'll be kicking Kefka's ass once again. See, Soundstone just, you know, shows up and breaks the flow of the battle and then fucks off again, like the douche numbers that they are. And the only reason I haven't unequipped it yet is because I kind of forgot to. Yeah. Kefka is probably one of the most annoying characters to fight.
One more win for me.
So now that I've used Ifrit 3 times, I will have to fight another 3 battles before I can use him again. And that's the grievance I have with Summon Stones. They are unreliable and you can only use them half of your battles at best. If I had another Summon Stone, I could equip that and use it, but I don't, and I just don't want to juggle it. I don't know why I didn't block that, or dodged it. But this is the main problem of Terra, really. She is usually a ranged character, and I managed that all of her attacks is mostly very easy to dodge. Also, Terra actually has a sword, and she actually uses it in the air duels, which is the only time she uses it. And this is another reference to Final Fantasy VI, in that Terra is majorly a magic character in her own game, but it takes quite a while for her to actually learn a good couple of spells. So for a good deal of the game, she will actually be using swords and physical attacks, which is reflected in air duels. Besides, the effect of the attack is actually pretty cool, I think.
One more win for me.
I should probably cut down on the amount of battles I show off, which I will be doing in future videos. Or at least when characters have been established.
Looking for a win.
Oh hey, we're fighting Vaughn again. Just get out, man. No one cares. At least you don't have Windburst equipped. So I don't think I mentioned it. Or maybe I did and I forgot about it. But if you attack an opponent when you have lower bravery than you normally would have, your critical hit chance will vastly increase. Also, something I forgot to mention is that if you interrupt an opponent's attack, you'll be getting assist charges, which is that segment of the assist gauge. I will refer that to countering, and depending on the attack you counter, you'll be either getting half of the assist gauge filled or all of the assist gauge filled. Also, this Vaan once again has attacks I don't have access to yet, because the game likes to be a jerk about it. See, Terra is a bad assist. A melee-oriented character will usually hit most of the attacks when you slam an opponent into a wall and activate them. But for some reason, Terra just has a lot of trouble hitting hers. And I suspect it's because she's a ranged character. But anyways, it's time for an anomaly. I don't know what else to call these guys, but they start off with 1 HP and have either enough bravery to one-shot you, or they start with a full X meter. But as you can see, since they start off with 1 HP, they're rather easy to kill. So they are typically not threatening at all.
One more win for me.
Especially if you focus on dodging attacks. And with that, I think we've seen all enemy types. At the very least, I'll be getting a lot of Cooper points. And I'll just be cutting this battle out because it's the easiest enemy. And that's 25 Cooper points. So let's yeah, Terra isn't really very talkative right now, considering she just now got her own free will. But anyways, that's the end of Vaans Chapter. I'll see you on the other side of this cutscene. In a moment.
You're different from me. You're strong.
You can make your own decisions. You already have. You don't want to fight.
My own decisions.
This battle's gonna be over before you know it. And I can already tell you Cosmos is gonna be the winner. Once Chaos is out of the picture, things ought to settle down a little bit. Then we'll all be able to go home, right? Go somewhere safe and hide out until all this is over. Somewhere where you won't have to fight.
What?
I'll come and find you before we go to fight Chaos. Then, you can come back to see Cosmos with the rest of us.
To see Cosmos?
Yeah, if you become one of her warriors, you should be able to go back to wherever you came from too. Anyway, I better get going. I've still got some fighting left to do. Find somewhere to lay low. I'll be back for you.
Vaughn.
Yeah? What is it?
My name's Terra.
Terra. Nice to meet you, Terra.
And so, Vaan just leaves what is effectively a newborn all alone in the world. Go you, Vaan, you piece of shit. But anyways, we are finally done with the worst part of this game. And, well, to make up for it, we get to play the best part of the game. I'm looking forward to this, and you should too. But this has been an update. I'll see you next time.